What's going on YouTube? Justin here, aka Goofy Skating Lifestyle, back at it again here with another video. Today, we're going to be doing a skate setup for May, this month, this upcoming month. We got sheet of black mob grip, some plain Jane black mob grip. We got an 8.5 creature board. It is a 8.47 by 31.98 and the wheelbase is a 14.25. Give you a closer look here of the graphic. I think the graphic is really sweet. We've got some independent hardware here with 2 silver bolts so I could tell the difference between the nose and the tail. As usual, we've got Grand King lockers. I will link everything in the description. I've got the Grand King tool to install the hardware and the wheels. I've got some 53mm OJ wheels paired with some quantum vector bearings. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to be gripping the deck first, and then after we grip the deck, we will throw the wheels on the trucks and then install the trucks. Trash. Alright, so I'm going to do a little how-to grip again while I'm doing this. When you got your grip, you want to go to the side, pick any of the sides, and start peeling off your grip like so. Set the backing to the side. The back side that you just peeled is going to be very sticky. Try to avoid touching it with your fingers the best you can. Try and keep your fingers on the edges like so. And you're going to want to line it up. This is just the way I do it. There's like 3-4 other ways you can do it. Make sure you line it up with the nose and the tail. Make sure that it's straight and all aligned with the deck. And you want to press down in the center, just like so. Give it a good old pat down all the way throughout the deck. Make sure all the air bubbles are out of the way. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can skate the air bubbles out. I mean, you're going to be skating the deck, so air bubbles will come out. Peel it up a little bit if you need to and get those air bubbles out. There's a big crease or air bubble. You can always put the backing back on like this and push along it with your fist. Once you install your wheels or whatever on your trucks, you can roll your wheel around on it. We're not going to do that. In order to punch your holes in the grip, I'll do this first and then we'll cut it. You want to go from the back side with your bolt, any bolt of the hardware from the hardware section. You want to poke it through, not fully, just enough to where you can see an indentation on all of them. That time it poked through, which is okay, but it sometimes will destroy your grip and make a bigger problem. It'll sometimes tear the grip. You don't want to tear the grip. Got lucky there. So you just want to make indentions so you can see where the holes are. And then once you've made your indentions, you can either push your hardware through this side again like this, or you can get your screwdriver and just You know, poke them back in, and you're good to go to set your hardware back on. And now you've got your holes all set up. If you do the screwdriver method, it might mess up your screwdriver a little bit though. So I would really recommend you using the hardware to poke it back through. In order to cut your sheet of grip that you just cut, pry it up and get ready to cut. I always like to sand the edges down first, which is what we're gonna do, just so you get a better cut and a good outline of where you're gonna cut. You can always use the side of your screwdriver like this. If you don't have your screwdriver or skate tool, this part of your truck right here is always a great spot to do it. So we're gonna use the truck here. You can also use the part of the truck where you grind, but always use the base plate. You want to carefully get your razor blade. If you are a child watching this, make sure you have parental supervision and permission cutting grip tape, since you will be using a knife or a razor blade. I prefer razor blades. Get a cleaner cut. As you just saw there, I cut along the 4 sides just to make it easier on myself. Be sure not to cut towards yourself, although I am, and I find that most comfortable. I'm not responsible if you get hurt. Just a disclaimer. And you want to cut along that outline that you made with the truck or the screwdriver. Leave the excess to the side. You're going to need that in a second. And that is why you peel the grip up. Sometimes it likes to get stuck down. All right. Now the last section, that makes it easier. The sectioning, the grip, makes it easier to cut. Here we go. Now that we've cut out the grip, fix it up here. I always love to grip up my boards. It's always been a refreshing activity. You feel better after you set it up and skate it. You feel like you really accomplished something, you know, it's rewarding. It's rewarding for me and it's very satisfying. I love doing it. So with that excess end piece here, you want to fold that in half. And what you're going to want to do is kind of how you made that outline. You want to go along the edge, and what the going along the edge here is going to do between the board and the grip is going to make sure that your grip tape doesn't start peeling. Usually the grip is grippy enough to where it's not going to do so, but I never skip this step because whenever I skip this step, I always seem to have grip tape peeling. So this is one of my, I'd say in my way of doing this, if you're going to ride your decks as long as you can, and you're not pro and you're not getting free decks, I'd suggest doing this step. Just be aware that you're going to get grit everywhere, so be sure to clean up your mess if you're inside, or I'd recommend doing this outside, only for that reason. It can be a little messy, a little gritty. Now that we've got the board gripped, and you get started on putting the hardware on. All right, now that is prepped, throw the wheels on the trucks. You usually have 2 washers that'll come with your trucks. Graphic in or out, doesn't matter. I prefer a graphic in because they get destroyed anyway. Put 1 washer on the inside before you put your wheel on, and then you put your washer on before you put your nut on. And you tighten it up all the way down, just like so, until it won't go anymore. Don't over tighten it, just enough to where you've got no play and it's barely moving. And then back it out like a 1/4 turn or 1/2 turn, or until you get little to no play and your wheel spins freely, like so. So as long as your wheel spins freely without any resistance, but you don't get too much, too little play. You just want it right in between. I'd highly recommend using a bearing press when installing bearings. That being said, I will link one in the description. As well. I'll usually ride a set of 52s, but we're rocking with the 53s just because they'll last a little longer, I'm hoping. Your boy's broke right now, but it's all good. Make it counts dry. Moment. Sometimes over time, when you skate your trucks for so long, these axle nuts, when they hit the concrete, they start to wear out. This is with any truck, obviously. They start to wear out to where you can barely get your skate tool on there. I already got a washer on this side. You just gotta put a washer on this side. Washer stuck on there from when I had the other wheels on it. I had a set of 52 OJs on before. I'm just gonna use that other setup as a backup deck or backup setup, whatever. Oh, man. Maybe fix that in a little bit. Start installing the trucks. All right, start tightening up the trucks here. Alright guys, that completes the setup video for today. Like I said, I will link all the companies in the description on this video. And until the next video, whether it's a skate vlog, car stuff, whatever it is, please enjoy, hit the like button, comment, and be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace!